Now, I want to start out tonight by thanking you all for coming, and for those of you who don't live in Broomfield, I'd like to welcome you to the place I've had the privilege of calling home since I left the military several years ago. Now, my name is Dave Pigott, and like you, I'm a Coloradan. Now, I wasn't born here, but like many of you, I chose to make Colorado my home. Colorado, to me, like being an American, is not a question of where you're born, although being born on native soil is certainly a blessing. It's a question of heart. Being a Coloradan, like being an American, means fighting for freedom and accepting the responsibility that comes with it. It's about chasing your dreams and getting up one more time than you fall down. We are persistent and we are kind. We are courageous and we are tempered. I learned about persistence from my dad. I don't think he's given up on anything his entire life. One thing I know he's never given up on is his family. Despite having a legal career, working hard, he was always there at breakfast to quiz me on my spelling words, and when he came home at night, we had dinner together, he asked me what I learned in school. When I played baseball, he coached it. When I played soccer, he coached it. When I played hockey, he realized he couldn't skate. But he still came to every game and showed a pride that I'm only beginning to understand. It never occurred to me growing up that it might be hard for him to manage all of that, but I get it now. It took persistence. I learned about kindness from my mother. If you're worried that freedom will lead to selfishness, spend a few minutes watching a mother with her child. You won't worry much longer. My mother has proven to me that mankind is capable of unconditional love and that the pursuit of happiness is futile without it. I'll never forget the joy on my mother's face when Santa was able to bring my sister and I the toy we'd asked for, the anguish in her eyes when I told her that I had chosen West Point. If I've done anything in my life that can be called worthwhile, it's because it's made somebody else's life better. And if anything that I do going forward can be called worthwhile, it's because she loved me. If there's a happiness worth pursuing, a happiness to which righteous men will pledge their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor, surely it is the happiness born in the voluntary kindness we show to those we love. I know of none greater. Now, in my life, I've seen many acts of courage, and I could stand here all night and tell you tale after tale of ordinary people standing up to the things of which they were most afraid. But perhaps the best example comes from two Iraqis whose names I'll never know. My battalion had been operating in the Diyala province for a couple of months. We had just restored a hospital to working order. Iraqi leaders from all over the province came to the grand opening, and of course there was a platoon of my friends and fellow soldiers on hand to pull security, as well as a bunch of Iraqi security forces. Guy that nobody seemed to know comes in, keeps passing through the gate, in and out each time. The security guards do their job, pat him down, he's clean. At least until the last time. He comes up, the Iraqi security guards, they pat him down, they discover a suicide vest. And they had about 3 seconds to decide what to do. They could have run, they could have dove behind a wall, they could have hid behind the gate, but they didn't. They tackled him, they smothered him with their bodies as he pulled his trigger. They saved everyone else's life that day. And they did it because despite the fact that they had never set foot on American soil, they believed in what we were doing and they believed in the American dream. They had an American heart. And that's what courage is all about. Now, persistence without temperance leads to obsession and greed. Kindness without temperance leads to dependence and abuse. Courage without temperance leads to foolishness and failure. Man is good, but man is fallen. And it is incumbent upon each of us to use our God-given ability to reason, to temper our hearts. That's what personal responsibility is ultimately all about. Now, this is Colorado. This is the place where Catherine Bates stood atop Purple Mountains, looked at waves of grain, and was inspired to write America the Beautiful. This is where people look at 3,000 miles of mountains and decide they're going to drill right through it. 24 Coloradans have earned the Congressional Medal of Honor. We boast 65 United States astronauts, including Jack Swigert of Apollo 13. This is the home of David Packard, Adolph Coors, and the unsinkable Molly Brown. 31% of Colorado taxpayers gave to charity. 32% of Coloradans volunteer on a regular basis. These are some of the highest stats in the nation, and the millennial generation is leading the way. Now, if you're ready to quit, there's a state for that. This is Colorado, and we don't quit. If you want to hide from the tremendous obstacles we face, there's a state for that. This is Colorado, and we don't back down. If you want to duck the consequences of your decisions, there's a state for that. This is Colorado, and we take responsibility for ourselves. And if you want the government to take care of your neighbor for you, there's a state for that too. This is Colorado, and we take care of each other. Now, it's my goal here tonight to convince many of you to become involved with my campaign over the next 10 months. And for that reason, I'd like to use this as an opportunity to state clearly and without hesitation that this is going to be a clean campaign. We'll engage in vigorous debate, we will challenge fundamental political beliefs, and we will not pull punches when it comes to criticizing bad policy decisions. That said, we won't name call, we won't mudsling. We will conduct ourselves at all times in a manner worthy the people of Colorado. Now, I'll give you an example. There are a lot of people out there, including politicians, activists, reporters of all stripes, that try to label my opponent, Diane, a victim. We will do no such thing, because Diane is not a victim. She's a survivor, and God bless her for it. Unfortunately, she subscribes to a political philosophy that tells people they're victims and consider government-sponsored survival a success story. All you have to do is survive, they'll tell you. Take the hand of government and hope it pulls you up. Well, what they don't tell you is that that hand comes with a handcuff, and hope is the last refuge of a man who's lost faith in his ability to control his own destiny. Well, this is Colorado, and we know better. We will not take the cold hand of government. We will grip hands with each other. And we will not resign ourselves to hope. We will remain masters of our own destiny. And we will do more than survive. We will prosper, because that's who we are. Now, my name's Dave Pigott, and I'm running for House District 33. Our best days lie ahead, and I'm going to make sure of it. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for coming tonight. God bless you. God bless Colorado. God bless the United States. And go Broncos!